In this video, we're going to go over some of the things that we'd like all of our officials to do, whether we're a new official or a not so new official. First of all, I'd like to talk about our appearance before we ever get into our uniform. For every assignment, we want to make sure that we are dressed appropriately when we arrive at the game site. For varsity assignments, officials should be dressed in business casual attire when they arrive at the game site. You can wear a coat and tie if you like, but it's not required. We do require that you have on a collared shirt, and we'd like for it to be tucked in. The Central Virginia Football Officials Association shirt is ideal, but it's not required. Dress pants or slacks are required with the belt. You should not arrive in jeans or shorts, and you must wear dress shoes. They can be loafers, but tennis shoes and sandals are unacceptable. Grooming is a big part of our appearance. Be sure that you've shaved so you don't have any stubble. If you have a mustache, it should be neatly trimmed. The same goes for beards. They are okay, but they must be neatly trimmed. Keep in mind though, the next time you're watching a football game on television, notice how many of the officials have facial hair. It's not very many. We want to be invisible out there, and if there's anything different about us, like poor grooming for example, it will stick out like a sore thumb. They say that first impressions are lasting ones, so we need to demonstrate professionalism all the time, right down to the way that we look. That way the people we are working for, the coaches in the schools, are likely to have confidence in our abilities. If we don't do this, then they may have doubts about our abilities on the field. For junior varsity assignments, they're a little different since we don't get access to locker rooms. In most cases, it's best to arrive game dressed in black shirt that you'll wear underneath your striped shirt and black pants. You can arrive in business casual attire if you like, but you'll need a place to change, like most times in your car, so be very discreet. Like I said, for JV assignments, it's best to arrive dressed in your uniform. Now, even though it's a JV assignment, it's not permitted to arrive dressed in work clothes such as jeans or painter's outfits or construction clothes. Again, we need to look professional. And remember, first impressions are lasting impressions. Next, there are several items that every official needs to provide for themselves and bring to every game. Be sure that these items are from an official supplier. First, these are bean bags. You'll prefer vinyl bean bags since cloth ones get dirty very quickly and are difficult to clean. At some point, your bean bags will get muddy. With vinyl, you can just wipe them clean. These are penalty markers. You'll see two of them here, one with a black top and one with a yellow top. The black tops have become popular since we wear black pants. Don't make your own flags. Again, we don't want to be different from our crewmates. There are two types of whistles, a finger whistle and a lanyard whistle that hangs around your neck. If you're a new official, I'd suggest you go ahead and get both so you can see which ones work best for you. And when you're buying whistles, get yourself a pink whistle since we use them in October for cancer awareness. You don't need a pink lanyard though. While only some of the officials on the field have timer requirements, everyone should have a timing device. Just be sure that the watch that you have is able to count down. For example, the back judge who is in charge of the play clock wants to be able to set it at 25 seconds, hit a button, and have it count down to an alarm at 0. Most watches have a stopwatch function that allows it to count up, but make sure that the one that you get also allows you to count down. Each official should have a timing piece on the field. These are down indicators, and you can have one or two of them. They are part of your uniform and they are worn on the hand. First down looks like this, over one finger. Second down is over 2 fingers. Third down is over 3 fingers. And fourth down is over 4. These are very helpful in keeping track of the correct down. You'll need game cards and writing instruments. For varsity assignments, you'll be provided a game card for each game. But for junior varsity and middle school assignments, you should have your own reusable plastic card that you can write on and erase, and a plastic sleeve or a book pad so you can keep it on you, either in your front pocket of your shirt or in the back pocket of your pants. This is the commemorative coin that we flip at the beginning of each varsity game. New officials probably don't need to worry about this. The referees will have this for the coin toss. Now with all that gear, you'll need something to put it all in. There are bags out there like the one on the right made specifically for this purpose. However, some people will use a Tupperware container like the one on the left. It's your choice. Now those are the small items that you'll carry on your person. So now on to the uniform itself. Keep in mind that all of these items should be purchased from a sports officials vendor, not a retail store like the ones you see at the mall.
Black shoes have evolved to where logos and highlights have become acceptable over time. Again, I suggest purchase from an official's uniform vendor and not a retail store.
And just like the shoes, you'll probably want to buy a belt for your uniform from a sports equipment vendor. Do not use a dress belt. Under your uniform shirt, you'll want to wear a black shirt. It can be a regular black t-shirt or a sports shirt like Under Armour or Cliff King or any other sports clothing manufacturer. Compression shorts or tights can be worn underneath the pants if you like as well. Next is the VHSL shirt with the patches already silk screened into the shirt. Zip up the shirt, but you can leave it an inch or so unzipped for comfort. You'll need to purchase a black hat with white piping, again from an official gear supplier. Your hat needs to be fitted. Hats with plastic adjustments in the back are not permitted. Hats with elastic in the back that allow it to expand are okay, but do not wear a hat with plastic adjustments. Now your flag or penalty marker will be tucked in right here on the front of your pants as the ball sticks out from the top. If you're left-handed and you want to put it on the other side, that's fine. When you need to grab your flag, it's simply right there next to your hand and you won't have to go far to get it. One beanbag is required for each official, but some officials, like downfield officials, do have two. You can put them both in the front under your belt opposite your flag, or some people when carrying two would like to prefer to keep the second one in the back out of the way but they know where it is just in case they need it. It's important to be consistent with where you keep your flags and your beanbags to help prevent mistakes. Lanyard whistles go around your neck, underneath the collar of the shirt. Then zip the lanyard up to the top so it stays put. The finger whistle simply slides on your finger. When you need it, just bring it to your mouth. As you saw before, these are down indicators. You're required to have at least one. Most officials use two. This is your game card. It should be kept in plastic since it can be ruined by a rainy night or perspiration from a hot day. There are two types of clips for the chains. The head linesman who runs the chain crew will provide the clip to the chain crew. Either one of these is fine. As I said before, wear a watch with a countdown timer.
A big part of officiating is about signals and communication. As an example, we will look at the wing officials in determining the legality of offensive formations.
The wing officials are responsible for judging the legality of the offensive formation. We do this by verifying that there are no more than 4 backs in an offensive formation. In this formation here, we can see that we have this player positioned as a back, these two players positioned as backs, and then finally this player right here positioned as a back. Because this player right here is the widest player in the offensive formation, the wing officials have to rule by a signal as to his position. In this situation here, with this player being off the line of scrimmage, you'll hear that phrase, or in the backfield, or a back, all means the same thing. He indicates this by throwing his left arm into the offensive backfield, extended from his shoulder, and holds it until the snap. This indicates to his partner across the field that he is ruling him as a back. That way, the wing official across the field can help count 1, 2, 3, and 4 with the help of his signal. Contrary, this receiver right here, who is the widest player in the offensive formation, is on the line of scrimmage. He is a lineman, both meaning the same thing. There is no signal that this wing official needs to give. By giving no signal, he is indicating that he is an end. He is known as a split end because he is on the end of the line and split from the tackle. He is known as a lineman, even though he is an eligible receiver. But since he is the widest player in the formation, we have to rule on his position by either giving a signal and signal him off the line, as in the official at the top of the screen, or providing no signal indicating that he is on the line of scrimmage. This helps both officials verify that there are no more than 4 backs in the offensive formation. Likewise, in this formation, we have flipped it. In this situation, the receiver at the top of the screen is on the line of scrimmage, and our wing official there is not providing any signal indicating that he has him on the line of scrimmage. And at the bottom of the screen, our wing official is indicating that the widest player is off the line of scrimmage and positioned as a back. So in this formation, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 backs. Note, we have an eligible receiver here, and we have an eligible receiver here. This position here is the tight end. If we look closely, we have the snapper here. His helmet's a little forward of everybody else's, and we count 1, 2, and 3, meaning this person right here is on the end of the line. He is a tight end because he is next to the tackle, contrary to being a split end as in the last formation. So we know he is an eligible receiver as well. But as far as signals are concerned, we are signaling the position of the widest player on the field. Now, in this scenario, we have trips to one side, and the two widest players are both off the line of scrimmage. And if you look very, very closely, our official is extending 2 fingers out to indicate that the widest 2 players are off the line of scrimmage and positioned as backs. These are the primary signals that the wing officials use pre-snap to communicate to one another to judge the legality of the offensive formation.
After the play is over and you're getting ready for the next down, you'll always want to signal to 2 other officials at least what the next down is. On first down, look both ways and verify we're getting first down back. If it's second down, you can do the same with the Texas Longhorn or the peace sign. Either one is fine. For third down, 3 fingers like this or like this. Either one is good. The important thing is that you'll need to look and verify that the other officials are giving you back the same signal. If you're giving them 2, you want to make sure they're giving you 2 back. If you're giving them 3, you want to make sure they're giving you 3 back. If your signals aren't the same, you'll need to figure out who's making the mistake and communicate to get the down right. Now, each down you'll count the number of players on the field that you're responsible for. For 11 players, it's a fist extended out. For less than 11, it's an open hand extended out. And you'll know if another man runs onto the field, he'll be the 11th man, the 12th man, or the 10th man. We want to communicate the number of players on the field at all times. Closed fist is 11, open hand is less than 11. If you're downfield, make sure to extend the signal out so the other officials can see it easily. When you're on the sideline and the signal is out in front, it's easier seen. The 12 signal is very rare. Most of the time you'll have 11 or less than 11. And since it's rare that the referee and the umpire cannot see that low on each other due to all the other players in between them. The timeout signal is a very important signal. It's probably the most used signal during the course of a football game. It should be a big signal over your head. Extend your arms as straight as possible and extend your fingers. Some of the most common usage of the timeout signal follows when a runner runs out of bounds, there is a first down, a timeout is called by a team or a player, the end of the quarter happens, there's an injury, after any legal kick play, whether it be a scrimmage kick or a free kick, and after any fourth down play. Don't give a lazy timeout signal. Make it big and over your head and slow. A slow signal is a good signal. This is the touchdown signal. So if you're the covering official, when a touchdown is scored, make sure that this signal is high and big. I know this seems like fairly simple stuff, but it's very important to see what these signals need to look like before you get out on the field. You need to make sure you're giving good, strong signals. The dead ball signal is simply one hand up in the air like this. This is used when the covering official, usually one of the wing officials, indicates that the play is over by the runner being down or its forward progress has been stopped. Our next signal is the incomplete pass, or if we have a penalty that is declined. They're relatively the same signal. All signals should be at least shoulder height. Get it up high and make it big. Usually 2 swipes is enough to indicate a pass is incomplete. Don't go crazy doing it 5 or 6 swipes. With incomplete passes, if you give a good strong signal, usually people have little doubt in your judgment. Next, if there is a pass, a punt, or a scrimmage kick that is tipped, you'll need to give a good strong tip signal. It lets everyone know What set of rules are and are not in play? With a tipped pass, the circumstances dictate the rules that are in play. And with a blocked kick, the tip signal lets the officials know to be alert to see if the ball crosses the line of scrimmage. That's rule study, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. On field goal attempts, there is a live ball signal. When a field goal attempt is blocked, it communicates that the ball remains alive and in play, so don't blow your whistle. A blocked kick on a point after a touchdown will not be a live ball, and this is the difference between field goal attempts and extra point attempts. So this is a live ball signal for field goal attempts, so nobody blows their whistle inadvertently. Next is the touchback signal. It should be high and over your head just like a dead ball signal, except side to side. This happens when the result of the play is a touchback. Again, make it big and make it large. This is a touchback signal. This, however, is not a touchback signal. This you'll see sometimes, but it is incorrect. Back judges in a 5-man crew and side judges in a 7-man crew are responsible for indicating to the referee that a charged team timeout is over. You'll do this by blowing your whistle and raising your hand to get the referee's attention. Get somewhere that gives you a line of sight to the referee. You'll need to let him know that the timeout is over and that it's time to play ball. Make sure you hold this until he sees it and continue to blow your whistle until he recognizes you. Now we're going to take a look at signals used solely by the referee in no particular order. First down, get it up high. Ideally, your hand should be a bit above the top of your hat, but make it big so everyone in the stands can see it. Try not to point, but use your entire hand. This is an untimed down signal for an extra point attempt. Extend the arm, get it up high. That's the untimed down signal. Next, wind the clock. Make sure that the press box can always see this signal. If you're facing the press box and you're right-handed, wind the clock with your right hand, facing downfield with your shoulder toward the press box. If the press box is opposite the arm that you wind the clock with, then you should turn and face the press box and wind across the front of your body. Just remember, the press box always needs to see this signal. This is the signal for a safety. It's a little awkward, but make it as high as you possibly can. The safety signal is usually only given by the referee, but we'll get into more about that later as far as mechanics are concerned. This is the inadvertent whistle signal. If you have an inadvertent whistle on a play, you need to give the signal to the press box to indicate that those rules are in effect. This is the signal if you need to wave off a flag. Just simply grab your flag, wave it above your head a couple times. If we have to wave off a flag, this lets everyone know that the crew has gotten together and determined that there was no foul on the play. This is the end of the quarter. Ideally, we would have a football in our hand to signify that the quarter has ended. Here's our encroachment signal. This is the signal we use for false starts or illegal formations. Here is our signal for illegal shift if we have an illegal shift on a play. Again, keep them high.
Illegal motion. This is in contrast to illegal shift. Illegal shift is with 2 arms. Illegal motion is 1 arm.
Delay a game. Again, notice how the signals are shoulder height or above. This is our illegal substitution signal.
Now this is the signal for illegal equipment. If we discover illegal equipment, we want to act on it. And of course, this is the signal for personal foul. Personal foul can stand on its own, or it can precede a number of other fouls. Illegal helmet contact. Horse collar. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Now on this one, we simply just want to have our arms straight off from our shoulders in a steady posture. We do not want to try it and look like we're going to fly away. This is a stagnant signal, so do not move your arms. Illegal participation. This is the signal for sideline interference. Sometimes we have the notion to turn our back to the sideline so they can see our signal, but actually you do not turn your back to the press box. So this is what the signal will look like from the press box. It is 2 hands behind your back, but again, we do not turn our back. This is illegal batting. Roughing the passer. This is generally preceded by the personal foul signal, as you see. Illegal forward pass. Again, the signal is technically behind our back, but we do not want to turn our back to the press box. So this is what it's going to look like. Intentional grounding. Ineligible downfield. Simply put our hand on our hat. We do not tap our hat, just simply put our hand on the hat. Holding. Very typical signal. This is a signal we want to make sure is high up near our shoulder and our frame. We do not want to pull it so far down to where it's near our waist. So just a little small tug on the arm and keep it up near our shoulders and keep it big. Blocking in the back. Same with as holding. Keep this signal up. This is aiding the runner.
Here is face mask. If the penalty is just for a 5-yarder, this is the only signal that is needed. However, if it is a 15-yard face mask, it is preceded by the personal foul signal.
Disqualification. When a player has committed a foul that disqualifies himself through his actions, we will use this signal. Notice that the word we use is disqualified rather than eject.
Now, most of what we've covered so far involve the hands and the arms. There are also signals that include the feet or below the belt, such as
illegal kicking. This is the same as the batting signal followed by a simple pointing to your foot.
This is running or roughing the kicker. If it is just running into the kicker, it's just simply the foot. However, if it's roughing and a 15-yard penalty, it is again preceded by the personal foul signal.
Clipping. Illegal low block. Chop block. This is the signal for tripping.
When a team calls a charge timeout, you'll need to kill the clock and point to the appropriate team, not their bench, but toward the side of the football that team is on at the time, whether they're on offense or defense.
As a referee, even though the clock has already stopped, it's a good practice to kill the clock again before giving the charged team timeout signal. After a coin toss, you'll need to indicate which team will be receiving to start the game. Put yourself in alignment with that team and give the receive signal.
To signal you're ready for play on the kickoff, you'll need to sound your whistle and instruct the kicker that he may kick the football. Make it a big signal so he'll know that the game is about to begin, or the kickoff may begin if it's after a score. Some people use one arm for the signal, some use two. It's your preference, but give a big whistle. The biggest whistle of the game probably needs to be on the kickoff because the kicker is usually 50 or 60 yards away from you. After each down, the referee signals to the head linesman that the next down is going to be first, second, third, what have you. The box isn't changed until the head linesman has gotten official word from the referee that the down is ready to move on, and they have verified that down. After each down, the referee will communicate with the head linesman. Always adjust the down indicator on your hand before signaling first, second, or third so that everyone stays current. Well, this video has covered a lot. If you've been an official for a while, this is probably a pretty good review for you. Those of you who are new, don't feel as though you should get all this information on the first go through. Watch this video again. Pause it if you need to and practice or make some notes. Like anything else, it takes time and experience to be a good football official. So good luck, and I'll see you on the field.